Hi everyone, my name is David and it's an honor to join the rest of the speakers to share with you our life journey. For this sharing, I will share with you my story in 3 parts. The first part, I call it the discovery. When I was much younger, about primary 1, I remember my teacher asked us to draw, what do you want to be when you grow older? My friends around me, they drew they wanted to be fireman, doctor, policeman, lawyer, whatever you can think of. When it came to me, I drew this. I wanted to be a chicken rice stall uncle when I grew older. But when my teacher walked past me, she gave me that look. Nowhere in our art syllabus have we ever taught you to be a chicken rice stall uncle. Now, allow me to share with you how this aspiration came about. When I was younger, my parents were separated. Because of that, I stayed with my mom. My mom went through a failed cataract eye operation. Because of that, she then became blind. We live in a rental flat. To make ends meet, I have to go out with her to sell tissue paper, tidbits and all. I don't know about you, but a plate of chicken rice at then cost about $2 or $2.50. Now, I live in a rental flat and there was no aircon. My substitute for aircon was to bring my mom to the NTUC, put my head into the freezer. That was my substitute. And one day, I remember putting my head into the freezer and I saw frozen chicken. And I looked at the price tag. Frozen chicken was about $4 or $5. And then I thought to myself, actually, the chicken rice stall uncle make a lot of money. If you think about it, one full chicken costs you about $4 or $5, right? He gives you a few slices of meat and a portion of rice. That cost price, probably just maybe 50 cents. And he sells me for $2.50. And if he sells many plates a day, he actually makes a lot of money. Though he looks genuinely quite poor maybe, but he actually is very rich. So that was when, in primary school, I said, hey, I want to be a chicken rice stall uncle. Really, that was my plan to get rich. Now, remember I said earlier, my mom became blind. So because of that, she couldn't really help me with my academics. As a result of that, my PSLE score, 110. Getting 110 could only mean that there was only one stream I could go to in Singapore at then, which is the normal technical stream. I don't know about you, but for me, in the normal technical classroom, no one really pays attention in class. All I can remember, the teacher will come in, will just tell us off, then after that, just teach a little bit, then leave for the next lesson. We genuinely just make teachers really very angry. But one thing I do remember about secondary school is CCA, and I love CCAs because in CCA, you get to meet people from different classes, different stream. And usually before school start, before lesson start we would hang out in school canteen. So one day, a friend of mine from the express stream, from my CCA, challenged me. Said, hey David, why not you pay attention in class? See, I was young and egoistic, so I cannot say no, right? So I said, fine, challenge accepted. How hard is it to pay attention in class, right? So the next lesson was math. And the first formula I ever understood in my life was this. Pi r squared. Well, pi looked a little bit interesting, and it kind of caught my attention. But during that lesson, I realized, David, you're not that stupid after all, right? Because I realized within every word problem, there will always be just one number. And if I could throw the number into the right formula, or your teacher will call it substitute, I put that number into that formula, and I flipped to the end of the textbook, and I realized, hey, I got the right answer. So I did that for a few times. Then I realized, David, you can kind of do math. And I did it again and again and again and again for the next few lessons and as it goes. Towards the end of the year, my friends asked me from my normal tech class, they said, hey David, can you teach us math? I said, can, very simple. Now just find the right formula, you throw the right number into it. I can't promise you 100% you'll get it right, but maybe 70% you'll get it right. As my friends did that, then they all got their right answers. And I felt a sense of accomplishment and I realized, I really enjoyed teaching people. So that was when I said, okay, career switch. I don't want to be a chicken rice stall uncle anymore. Now, I want to be a teacher. But actually, there was still a backstory to it. Because I thought to myself, well, I thought my teacher came to school at 7 a.m. and when I finished school at 1 p.m., my teacher was also from 7 to 1 and makes quite a lot of money. I didn't know they had to do CCA or committee work. So at that point of time, I said, Actually, I think this is a better get-rich plan because I don't have to perspire like the chicken rice store uncle. I just need to teach for a few hours every day, and yeah, I can become a teacher. So what am I trying to say at this point? Well, you see, me discovering becoming a chicken rice store uncle or be a teacher was never because one day I was walking on the street, suddenly I had an aspiration. It was a function of what I saw and what I tried. I saw the chicken rice uncle, then that was where I said, I wouldn't mind being him. I had an experience, an opportunity to teach my friends, and I realized I enjoyed it. And that was how my aspirations came to be. Part 2, the long journey. So how do you become a teacher? I went to www.yahoo.com.sg and I typed, how to be a teacher in Singapore. And it brought me to this pretty amazing website known as the Ministry of Education website. Now, so this was what I saw. And I looked at the options there and I told myself, as a normal tech student, hey, I can get a polytechnic diploma. All I just need to do, finish my 4 years of N-Levels, 4 years of secondary school education, 4 years of ITE, then after that, go to poly. So I clicked on Polytechnic Diploma, and it goes like that. If you have a passion for teaching, yep, I pretty much enjoy teaching my friends. Strong personal attributes and values, well, I might be a rascal in school, but I don't kill, I don't steal, I don't destroy. So overall, generally still a good guy. Next, a Polytechnic Diploma. Well, that is quite possible. And then it read, and at least 5 O-level passes. The moment I saw these words, 3 words came into my mind. 笑了啦. Simply because as a normal tech student, you would never be able to do O-levels. And what does this mean? It means that I will never be able to realize my aspiration of becoming a teacher. I then spoke to my teacher about it, and my teacher told me, David, it is possible. If at Sec 4 in your N-Levels, you can get grade 1 for all the subjects, you can move to Sec 5 normal academic. But no one in Singapore has ever done that before. But my teacher believed in my aspirations. I still remember in secondary 4, one day I submitted to her this composition, and the next day we sat down in this classroom. She returned to me my composition, and it was filled with red. Both of us broke down in tears. I cried because I didn't know how to help myself. I think she cried, she also didn't know how to help me. But she never gave up on me. I had a mentor, at the same time also believed in my aspiration of becoming a teacher. She would ask her friends to mark my composition for me and gave me feedback. I also remember at secondary 4, she brought me a primary 6 grammar book because grammar was really one of my weakest points in English. And because of that, I practiced as hard as I could. Fast forward 2004, on the day of my results, I received a call from my school. Say, David, you're a national top student. I was like, huh? What's national top student? Never mind, just go to school early. But during my trip to school, I was filled with anticipation. I thought, hey, finally, I am going to be able to go to Sec 5 normal academic. I reached school, I opened my results slip. 1, 1, 1. The subjects that were needed to get grade 1, I got grade 1, except one particular subject, I got grade 2. Want to guess what that is? Well, not math. That was English. My whole world came crashing down. I was so close to going to Sec 5 normal academic, but I couldn't. I still remember, after collecting my results, I went to my principal. I told my principal I really wanted to do Sec 5 normal academic, and he was the one that suggested. He said, David, why not you try writing to the Minister of Education? So I did. Dear Minister of Education, Minister Taman then, I really want to do O-levels. Full stop. Can you give me a chance? Fast forward, said yes. I repeated secondary school 2 more years. Instead of going to ITE, I did Sec 3 Express, Sec 4 Express. Fast forward, as a result of that, in 2015, I managed to graduate from National University of Singapore with a degree in economics. And finally, able to realize my aspiration of becoming a teacher. You see, beyond the academic support that everyone has given me, I also want to say how grateful I am to my mentor, I still remember when I was secondary 4, I didn't have a lot of money. And one day, she passed me this $50. Hey, Miss Priscilla. And I asked, when must I return this money to you? He said, David, you pay it forward. My point of this second part of this story is this. It's a long journey. I realized my aspirations really not because of my efforts alone. Many people have helped me along the way. My teacher stayed back after school. My mentor went the extra mile. My principal gave me the idea. Only because of all of them, that's why I'm where I am today. So for all of you, in time to come, you will realize your aspirations. But remember, it is not by your effort alone. Many other people made it possible. And on the day that you realize your aspiration, I just want to remind us to be grateful and to always pay it forward. Part 3. Paying it forward. You see, as a normal technical student, I never really found the drive or motivation to study. But it was because of my discovery of this aspiration to become a teacher, I finally found a reason. Studying was really a means to an end so that I could become a teacher when I grow older. You see, growing up, I had opportunities to discover my aspirations because I had a chance to teach my friends. And as a result of that, I asked myself, how could I create such opportunities for others? As a result of it, I started this program known as I'm Talented. I'm Talented seeks to create opportunities for students to discover their talents in non-academic pathways. For example, songwriting, photography, fashion design, coding, robotics, and the list goes on. The goal is really simple. I want to help every single child to figure out what you really enjoy. And after you know what you enjoy, then where can you go to further pursue it? Is it an ITE? Is it in poly? Or other post-secondary institution? Then how do you get there? Because once you know how to get there, then maybe studying is not the end of itself. It's just a means to an end. In my journey to realize my aspiration of becoming a teacher, I never said no to opportunities. And I always tried on different new experiences, such as taking on internships. During this entire journey, I come to realize that what truly energized me was that to be able to help others to articulate their aspirations and enable them to realize it. And being a teacher is just one of the many ways. So to all those of you who are listening, thank you for your patience. I want to encourage you to keep discovering, pursue your aspirations relentlessly, and keep paying it forward. Thank you.